Welcome everyone once again. Super happy to see you at our final Call-Up Friday holiday special. This is the very last event this year. Therefore, we're super excited to have you and to finish the year on a wonderful, creative, positive note, checking out some of the top community demos that were built since our last meeting. Yeah, let's kick off the agenda then. I want to let you know that today we will be hearing from our latest addition to the team, head of DevRel, Luis Serrano. He will be chatting with you in a minute. This will be followed by presentations of the wonderful demos that community members have prepared for you today. If you're interested in showcasing your demo or interested in providing feedback for these demos, make sure to come back to Call-Up Fridays. Make sure to apply for Call-Up Friday as well with your demo. So first we will hear from a particular demo, then we will have time for Q&A and feedback session, and that will happen 3 times today. Finally, we will choose the demo of the month. This time it will be Luis, our honorary member, choosing his favorite demo of this event. This will be followed by the most festive community member. So we are scanning through your Christmas outfits. Hopefully you brought your Christmas game in. I do see that there's definitely effort going on there. Thank you so much for bringing your most festive, most holiday version of yourself today here. So the winner will actually get a very gorgeous swag. So you do want to try to look as cute as possible here. If we have time, we'll also do some Christmas trivia. We will, I think, we are going to choose 3 winners with also some really good prizes. And then we will close up with upcoming events and a few words of goodbye for the season. Myself, forgot to introduce myself. I'm Sandra. I'm part of the developer relations here, looking after our wonderful community. And it is my pleasure to introduce you to Luis Serrano, our head of DevRel, who will be talking about Cohere hot topic today. Luis, are you with us? You are. I saw you.
I am here.
Yes.
Thank you, Sandra, for the introduction, and thank you. I'm so glad to be here and meet all the community, great developers. So yeah, I'm the new head of developer relations here at Cohere. I started a month ago. Which is short, but in tech years, it's like 3 years. So yeah, I've been here, and yeah, so I'll tell you a little bit about myself, and then I'll talk about something cool that I like. So yeah, I've been in tech for a while. I was a mathematician originally, and in tech, I've worked in different places as a data scientist, as a researcher, as other things, but my passion has always been teaching and explaining topics. So I have a YouTube channel that you should check it out. It's called Serrano Academy. Recently passed the 100K subscribers. And I explain topics in a very simple way. So I don't like formulas. I just like to sort of like fun examples, analogies. And I also wrote a book called Grokking Machine Learning, where I do the same thing. They asked me to talk about a topic that I like, and this is a great place because generative learning is certainly one of my favorite things, my favorite type of machine learning. I've seen sort of the applications that I didn't think we could do. I mean, the text that is generated, the images that are generated are things that I didn't think a computer could do. So I'm fascinated. But actually, it touches one of my other favorite topics because see, the technology is actually moving towards generative learning, and that is actually one of my favorite topics, quantum computing. How many people have heard of quantum computing here? So a quantum computer, it's pretty much a generative model, a generative learning machine. And I'm going to ask you a question. So what is the simplest generative model that you can imagine? So who wants to put it on the chat or even talk? Like, what is the simplest generative model that comes to your mind? The very simplest. A calculator could be a generative model, something that generates things, right? Could be image, could be text. Watch, yeah, interesting. I'll tell you, bubble machine, that's a good one. That's a good one. It's random, generates random bubbles. Random number generator, that's a good one. Yep, that's exactly it, right? Random noise. A random number generator, and in particular, the most basic one I can think of is a coin flip, right? A coin flip is a generative model because it generates a bit, which is the most basic unit of information. It generates a 1 or a 0. And so if it's a fair coin, it generates it with half probability each. But if, let's say, you come to me and you say, hey, Luis, I want you to generate this, and there's 8 heads and 2 tails. Well, what do? I put a little bit of padding, right? And make the coin generate, fall in heads 80% of the time. So I'm training my model to fit the data set you gave me, right? So that's simplest generative model. Classical computers have a hard time with those because actually, well, they can generate pseudo-random numbers, but it's never fully random, right? Like it's actually like if you manage to replicate the conditions of the universe and press the button, you get the exact same number. Quantum computers just generate some random stuff, right? Completely random, because a qubit is actually a random, it's actually a coin that you flip, right? And if you have more qubits, you just have a lot of coins that you flip and you make them generate what you want. So if you have enough of them, you can correlate them, get to have one, the first coin flip, and if it's heads, then it influences the 10th one, and that influences the 3rd one, and so on. And you can make it a generative model that comes out like, faces or text or something like that. So that's something that excites me. That excites me a lot, and that's why I find generative learning one of the coolest things in the world. So yeah, that was my rant. I hope that was 5 minutes, but if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Thank you so much, Luis. That was super fun. Guys, do you have any questions towards Luis? We have 1 minute, which means
the timeline for this would be longer. So I see quantum computers getting into generative models, but not right now, but probably in the future. And there would be some like enhancing this type of classical models, right? They would always be like a sort of hybrid between the two. Yeah.
Awesome. Alrighty, we will be moving to the demos. Thank you so much, Luis. Guys, welcome Luis to our community. You'll be hearing from him, seeing him much more often from now on. Super excited about that. Yeah, let's get going with the demos. So first up, a little bit of organizational info. After each of the demos, our Cohere mentors, David, Robin, Luis, and Matt, will be giving feedback and asking questions to the speaker. Please feel free to join them and to also share your feedback and ask questions that are of your interest. You can do that by typing in the chat, or you can just unmute yourself there, click and share it with us directly, which is also a super nice way to interact. First up is Arsalan Mohammed with a viral meme generator using large language models. Arsalan, I hope you're ready, because we are ready to hear from you.
Yeah. Hi all. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Not yet, but it's coming, I think. Yes, it's coming.
Yeah, so this is me, Mohammed Aslam. I work as a senior software engineer in machine learning, Capgemini, India. So I work with NLP models like Cohere, Stable Diffusion, GPT-3, and I build cutting edge solutions by building the solutions on top of it and concoction of multiple language models. And as part of Collab Friday, I have built a meme world. So it's a viral meme generator. So here I am using Cohere language model and image captioning model. And I used a few shot learning approach to generate the viral memes. And the aim of my project is to spread the smile and explore the humor side of large language models. And also sometimes models can be have a very bias and hatred towards particular community or race. So just to mitigate and improvise the model, and also to explore wonders of multimodal approach. If you ask DALI to create a meme, it will not create meme. Even though it is trained on huge billions of images, but it will not create a simple meme. But when we connect a language model with image model, then we'll definitely will get a meme. So in that aspect, we can see that our simple approach will be more powerful than the DALI. DALI will create the images, but it will not have even simple text on it. Okay, so that was my whole aim of the project is. And as part of hosting, I have hosted it on Hugging Face Spaces, and like I said, I have used the Cohere language models, uh, human text generation capabilities, and I gave few short examples, and I created image. I combined image captioning plus a few short prompting technique of Cohere language, and built and deployed on simple Hugging Face Spaces. And I'll show you the live demo. So this is of my website. And like say first of all, no offense for product managers, I know they do very good work. And let us see if you want to create a meme for anything. So let us say we have the examples here. Let us see for startups how it will be. Oh, startup, when your startup gets funded and you can finally afford a new laptop. Okay, so funny. And then we have okay, sorry.
So Arsalan, we have a request from chat to try the marketing one, if you can.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. So I added my most common marketing startup budget. Okay, I'm sorry. I think there's a cache issue. Okay. When you can learn how to use Facebook ads, but you'll never learn how to ignore them. Okay. It's a lady of old lady, and that's how the meme is. And just another one. Okay, when you have finished all the setting, all your email instant templates, but you're still looking for. So sometimes it will be very funny, sometimes it will be average. So I want, if anybody has interested in exploring and mitigating, bias and hatred in a particular community, they can report as well, and so that we can redevelop the model and we send the feedback to uh, Cohere language models, and we can do some R&D on top of it. So see here, you can have good luck. So any other suggestion from the chat? When you can't have good click-through rates without good open rates. So I have built this using, yeah.
They're awesome. So we just have a question from Rajan. Is there a word limit on the generation?
So word limit, there's no generation, but to actually this will be costly for me. So for that I have gone with 50 tokens. But I think meme should be in the range of 1 line or 2 line. So I have capped the limit. But yeah, I have capped the limit here. I don't want to tell my model should not give me the paragraph. I don't need paragraph. I need just a one liner, two liner meme. That's it. The simple, simple app for marketing team, social media team, and HR team. So these people can create viral memes for marketing, social media advertisement, and multiple for fun stuff, and also doing the R&D on top of this uh, topic. And I have built a web app, a simple web app, Hugging Face Spaces. And if anybody want to create an app on top of it, feel free to contact me from the link here. We can build a open source app which will create a viral memes. So people can easily create the memes and they can easily share it across social media profiles. And that meme generation capability will be very unique and it will be very different each time. So that will be the plus point. And you can add custom image from here as well if you have. that's how that's about my meme world. Since I've reached my limit of a presentation, I am open for question and answers. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I can tell you folks that I've been using this meme world myself for different types of conferences to just show how LLMs can work in the meme space. And they've been very successful. So a good hack. We have a question coming from one of our mentors, David. David, do you want to sort of talk about it a little bit?
Sure. I was just going to ask if you could explain a bit more about the prompt you used for the Cohere generation part. Was it just a few examples you pulled together manually, or was it something more complicated?
So see, for language models, they're just a next token prediction models, probabilistic models. So so I went with a single short learning, multi-short learning. So only the hack that we should know how to play around with prompt engineering. So that was nowadays we need to have skills to do prompt engineering. We have one parrot who will tell you the story, but you need to know how to tune it to tell it to according to you. So I applied with multiple prompts, a few short learning. I used to give I used to pass on multiple memes, and I instructed the model to generate non-offensive memes. If you I given the clear instruction that create non-offensive and humoristic memes. If I had given create offensive and racial memes, you could have created racial and offensive memes. So I instructed the model to give non-offensive memes. That's the reason we are getting non-offensive and humoristic memes. So it's all about, I went with a few short learning approach to say.
Awesome. One follow-up then, did you use a separate prompt for each of the categories, like a separate prompt for marketing, a separate prompt for product manager, or is it all one prompt that can handle different categories?
So I automated the prompt engineering as well. So say if I add a new department, then new meme will get generated.
Very cool.
Yeah, I automated those. I have not hard coded. I have automated those. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, David, for your question. So Anne has a question in the chat asking, is there proof of concept in terms of a meme going viral? Have you tried any of these memes to sort of push them out and see how they are responding?
For meme going viral, Sandra is here. She will tell. She has showcased to very big conferences. So so that's so. But I have not personally shared it in my LinkedIn. But when the people use the meme world, and I got very good responses from the LinkedIn. Yeah.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
I
agree. The conferences was it was a great success during the conferences, but I think a really great idea and also sort of like a low input from your end would be to maybe have a Twitter account for the meme world, and then every now and then generate memes and then just throw them out there and see how they are responding. I think it would be really cool. Okay. Yeah, thank you so much. It's been a great experience to check out your project. Thank you so much. Let's move to project number 2 from today. So this time it will be Sasha and Rahel talking about research paper semantic search clustering. Very different forte. I'm really excited to see what you've been cooking.
Hi there. Yeah, so we are presenting about semantic search and clustering of research papers, and we developed this project at a AI Transformers hackathon a few weeks ago, actually. So it was a really fun project to do over the weekend, and I think we got a pretty good prototype out of it. So yeah, we're two brothers, Rahel and Sasha. We're both software engineers / data scientists. We're based out of Ottawa, Canada. And we're really excited to share our project with you. So the purpose of this project, so researchers generally try to find new papers by looking at the related research section and references of the papers that they're currently reading. And the problem is that this could easily lead to getting stuck in sort of a local cluster of research. So also in the case where a researcher might be trying to solve a difficult problem with novel research, it might be hard to find applicable concepts. So our goal is to help researchers and students find relevant research using a semantic search and clustering approach. And this could potentially also help with finding research concepts that are used in other fields, but haven't been applied in this one yet. So this is sort of our approach. We gathered about abstracts of about 500 papers from arXiv across different subjects. And then we used Cohere's transformers to embed the summaries or the abstracts of each paper into an n-dimensional vector. And then we put that into an ANOI index, which was then going to be used to find the closest n neighbors given a query. So once we have this query, then we use UMAP in this case to sort of map these n-dimensional vectors into 2D space so that we can view it on a 2D grid. And then we generated hierarchical clusters of all these papers. And one of the additional things that we did was that we identified sort of the intersections between the words of each point. So each point represents a paper in the cluster using frequency analysis in order to identify the concepts that we present in each of the clusters so that you can sort of identify, these concepts are present in this cluster. And then we built an interactive UI, which allows the user to change the cluster levels, input queries, and then access the papers directly from the interface. And Rahul will now give a demo of the project.
Hello. So here we have a chart where each point is a research paper. Each point has a subject as seen in the legend and is identified by color. And if we were to enter a query, so for example, high energy black holes, it's mapped onto the chart. And here we can see that high energy black holes is within mathematics and astrophysics. It's in that section of papers. The user can also change how many papers they'd like to see related to the query. The papers are also clustered to different levels. So if I just adjust this slider, I can see 2 clusters or 3 clusters, or that went one too many. And so now the user can see which cluster that their query lies in. So here our query lies in this cluster of astrophysics. In addition, you can hover over a cluster and see what keywords are in that cluster. So here, this cluster is about modeling astrophysical jets. In addition, the user can click on a point to see that paper in detail in the sidebar. So here we can see the summary and the title as well as the link. And this also changes the cluster slider so that every step will show a new cluster added to the selected papers cluster. So if I move this one step, we see the closest paper is actually this paper, which when I clicked on this paper. Finally, the user can deselect the paper with the clear button. And I'll post this link in the Zoom chat, so if anybody wants to use the demo. Oh, except I can't see the chat, so I'll post it after. Then we will move on to future work. So for future work, we'd like to train a custom language model on research papers to improve the accuracy of where the research papers are placed. In addition, we'd like to examine the attention mechanism of the model, and this would give us better results for keywords or specific concepts. And finally, we'd like to improve the user interface. One example is to allow the users to track changes in clusters between steps. And finally, back to Sasha for the business cases.
Yeah, so we were thinking that ideally we can sort of partner with arXiv or other research paper repos to provide our project as sort of a paid service. Alternatively, I'm sure there are many researchers from universities or research labs that could use this tool in sort of an open source manner as well. They could provide their own papers. So that was sort of ideas for sort of the 2 avenues of the business case. I'd like to mention that, arXiv is a repository of research papers and we're pulling our data from them. So, thank you for arXiv for use of its open access interoperability. And then we also want to say thank you to Cohere for allowing us to present our work. yeah, so, and then we actually have the links to the repo and the GitHub on the next slide. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Awesome demo. Thanks. Please, by all means, post the links in the chat section, especially the streaming link, so we can play with it. I'm curious if we have any research-oriented folks in here, and whether anybody wants to give Rahel and Sasha feedback or ask follow-up questions. Joe has a question.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I just noticed that Joe on chat had a question. What clustering algorithm is used in there?
Oh, yeah, it's agglomerative clustering. Agglomerative clustering. I can't actually say the word. Let me post. Yeah, agglomerative. Yes.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah,
Whoever had a follow-up question, go ahead.
Can I give?
This is Matt Dunn from Cohere. So yeah, this is awesome, first and foremost. One question I had was about, yeah, I guess the agglomerative clustering, that's one approach. Did you ever attempt a density-based like HDB scan clustering? That might be something to look at. I've gotten decent results in the past using something like that. Yeah, did you ever get a chance to play with any other algorithms?
No, we didn't actually. I'm not too knowledgeable about the different types of clustering algorithms. I mean, to be honest, in this situation, we sort of just picked this at random, I think, and just used it just because, you know, it was a 2-day thing. So it's called the density-based. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's some pretty good implementations of them too. That
Okay,
are like,
cool.
that are pretty fast. And then the other question I had is, have you run up against any when you do the querying, have you run up against any kind of odd kind of embedding representations that return like kind of funky results that it's unclear, like basically maybe you like go for, I'm trying to think of an example off the top of my head, but the classic example that I've seen in like chat conversational spaces is like you put in the term like I want to buy, and then all the messages come back with like buy shoes, buy phone, buy this, right? And so like it's not actually focusing on like, and if you go put in shoe, then it brings back a bunch of buy things that might be like kind of somewhat related. And like, have you found like triangulating around that problem like difficult with the abstracts and getting the right kind of results to be returned, or has it just been kind of plug and play?
Yeah, actually, Rahel did a small experiment yesterday. Do you want to talk about the small large model thing?
Yeah, so we tested the embeddings with the Cohere's large model and small model, and we found that we got better results using the large model because it was able to capture the semantic better, as opposed to the small model would focus more on keywords. So for example, when I put celestial bodies and physics as a query, it would just return abstracts, or like the closest neighbors would be results that have physics in the name of it, but it didn't actually have anything to do with physics. Like some of the papers were not actually to do with physics, it just had physics in the abstract. So it focused more on keywords as opposed to the actual semantic meaning of the abstract. The other issue we ran into is some of the abstracts are not actually like
well defined.
They're not well defined. So we definitely, so sometimes the subject would be physics, but it's actually some survey paper, so it would go into quantitative bio or something like that. So it wouldn't be able to model that because it just doesn't have enough information.
Yeah, but I guess that's more of a problem with garbage data as opposed to the model itself. Yeah. So no, we haven't seen anything too bad. But yeah, what we're interested in doing really is sort of trying to validate this approach and seeing sort of the thing that we are most interested in doing, because right now we're doing that frequency analysis of the cluster words. We want to actually get the words from the model itself so that, you know, the words are actually representative of the mapping, so that we can then see, or at least to be able to compare the two to see if the frequency analysis is at least somewhat representative of that.
Sure.
And then to see if this is actually a useful thing. Is it allowing researchers to do useful work? Yeah, that's our next sort of step.
Yeah, very cool, very cool.
Okay, we have a very fervent discussion going on in the chat section, so I'm going to choose some of the questions here. Alexander is asking, have you checked how well the closest matches of a paper match up with, say, background section of references?
No, we haven't looked at anything that's inside the paper, so we're only looking at the abstract for now. I think we were considering doing looking at the paper in general and then comparing that. So no, that would be that's a good suggestion to see. Our logic, I think, was that hopefully the abstract is a good enough representation of the paper that it allows us to do good matching. And because we were wondering if the paper has a lot of extra stuff in it, maybe that'll mess things up with the vectorization. I don't know, that was sort of the intuition, but.
Gotcha. Another question coming from Rose. What approach might work well for 10,000 papers or more with only light cross-referencing and diverse topics? Any thoughts on that?
I don't know.
Maybe thoughts to our mentors, actually.
Yeah, Rahad, you have a thought?
No, I was just thinking that the Cohere's embeddings is much better than like, because the usual clustering is done with keyword analysis, but like it doesn't understand semantics. So I feel like Cohere's embeddings is a good approach for that, and it can handle very large amounts of data.
Yeah, like I think this approach should scale up. That would be my guess. I'm not sure about the diverse topics. What would happen with that? Like if you're trying to find topics which are across multiple things, I'm not sure what would happen. But I would guess for just a large number of papers that this should scale pretty well.
Awesome. Thank you. Yes, Louis says totally. I will second that. I think it should totally scale. Now, question coming from, actually, this is more of a question to Cohere team. So if anyone wants to jump on it from Cohere team, please do. John is asking, instead of chunking large papers, could you first ask Cohere to create a paper summary that is within the size limit and then use those summaries to perform clustering? Is
I was
that
writing
feasible?
a response to this, so I'll chime in instead of writing my response. You could, but in reality, since embed and generate have similar token limits, you'll run into a similar chunking problem with long summarization. If you're trying to summarize an entire paper, you'll likely have to summarize chunks. You could eventually get to a paper summary. It's just about how much information you're going to lose. And is it more valuable than just using an abstract? I think it could help in the events. It sounds like there's some abstracts that are just not great. So maybe it helped for like low quality abstractions, but otherwise I don't know if you'd see much of an improvement. That's just a guess.
Thank you. Thanks for covering that. Okay. John is thinking as well. In case there are no more questions, we will move to the next demo. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah,
definitely.
if anybody has more questions, like feel free to like connect with us offline as well.
Yes, you can hit up folks on Discord. We will be posting their projects and they will be available for follow-up questions and maybe call-ups if you're interested, because it looks like there are many passionate folks around in the research paper area space. So hopefully you get some support. And thank you so much. That was great. We'll move on now to again today, Arsalan Mohammed, who does not stop innovating and coming up with ideas that win hackathons and come to the top of Cohere demos. This time he is going to show us the House of Happiness, and hopefully he'll explain what it means in the demo.
Yeah, can you see my screen? I'm sharing my screen.
Not yet, but I think in a second we should see it. Yes.
Yeah, so I'll start. This is me, Mohammed Aslam. I'm the same guy who built a meme world, and I also built Betul Sur, which means House of Happiness in Arabic. And I won a generative AI hackathon organized by Cohere and Lab AI. And my use case is I have built a deep tech interior designing tool which will leverage Cohere command language model, and also in combination with stable diffusion and upscaling model. to do aesthetic exteriors and interior designing of the buildings. And coming for the designing not it is not just copying the latest trend happening, but it is also it shows you the personality, like what kind of personality you are. Even by looking at your home, people can judge you. So that's the beauty of design and how important it is for interiors and exteriors as well. So the tools I have used here is Cohere language model, Stable Diffusion, ESR GAN, and Dream Studio and Google Colab. And as I have built a simple POC and have hosted on a Hugging Face again, and this is the simple interface. I will upload the image and I'll select what I want to design. I will show the working demo after this, and I'll get the corresponding image, redesigned image. Okay, then I build one more space which will automate the process in the backend, and it will create the video out of it. I'll show. So since the video creation will take much time, for the simplicity sake of it, I will show you the image creation and I will show you the video result, how it will be. And here are the results. So say I'm the user. I want to redesign this my messy bedroom, maybe for some say Christmas. And let Cohere will write a description for the interiors of my living bedroom for in the theme of Christmas. Okay, Christmas, or in the theme of Arabic design. You have vintage, European, American, Indian, old Chinese, Japanese. Sky's the limit. Okay, then this is the input image, and output image is this one. So we can see that there are some quite, so it's not a Christmas theme. I'm sorry, I thought of, now I got it at bad. So it is a redesign. So if you want to see the video, how it transformed, let us see. So video will get transformed into multiple dimensions and multiple changes. If a user has any particular design to select, he can pass on and he can choose the design and artifacts accordingly. And here is one more result. This is the initial input image. And if you want to redesign your hall, so let us see the results. And it's a video. So I am redesigning this as Arabic house, typical Saudi Arabian, Middle Eastern, Dubai. We can see the results in front of us. So GPU will take huge computational for each image generation. It will take 10 seconds. Imagine this video is like of 100 images combined and stitched together. So computation will burn up. So I have not given make this as open source, but image one I have made open source. You can try it out. And yeah, this is one more example. The transformational happens, and if you have any specific time lapse to stop, you can stop and redesign. You can choose. You'll have a liberty to choose any time frame, and you can is in your house. And yeah, and one more functionality which can be done is like say you got output of this image. Okay, you got this image as output, and if you want to buy any particular thing, then what you need to do, you can search a particular image using Google Lens, and you will get relevant irrelevant items available in the internet. Or you can connect with the I'm trying to integrate interior designers or who do carpenter work, so you can connect with them and you can get your space redesigned according to AI. So why now? So what's the goal? So my goal is to revolutionize interior designing and exterior designing space, and I want to make it freemium, free for all, and premium for interior designers who want more features like 4K. They want videos. So those people will pay, but for normal people, common people, they can redesign. I am planning to give 100 credits per month, like say 100 images they can redesign for free, completely free. Why now? So you can see generative AI is like a it's penetrating into multiple domains like finance, medical industry, interior designing. So I want to create a solution which will have first move advantage in generative art, interior design. Okay, that will be very first niche. And also I'm looking forward to replicate the same work in generative clothing, generative handbags, generative jewelry. So sky's the limit. I'm I am combining the power of two models. One is a Cohere, one is a Stable Diffusion or a DALI or anyone, and I'm creating business value out of it. So that's my and there's a potential as well. So as I won the hackathon and my post went on trending like anything, and I got a huge positive responses from across the globe, across the geographies. So I think that's a testament to the fact that I got my validation that if I get a POC up and running as a full scale, then it's gonna for sure. Hopefully in next year and future
Amazing.
future what we can do is we can add advanced feature as well. We can extract some dimensions out of it. So more R&D can be done as part of it, but for initial launch we'll just redesigning will be there. And background you see here, it is not my house. This is also redesigned by using this space only. So it's not my actual background, it's a redesigned one. Okay, thank you. If you want to scale up and collaborate and to have your own thoughts, I'm available at this social media handles. I can be connected at any time on Discord as well. If you have any future hackathons participation, I'm open to collaborate and learn and win as well. So let us
Awesome.
try. Yeah, let us try the. I know I have time limit, but I'll show you one example.
Yeah, show us example. Also, please paste the links to your demos to Hugging Face spaces in the chat, definitely, so folks can
please try it out and
tweet around.
make sure that you use I have a very make sure you use a very generous, not generously, very responsibly, because I'll run out of credits. Maybe other people not get. Okay, so I selected some image, and I selected. Click here to select design. Cohere command language to design. I'll select interior designing of living room, and I need to play along with only this value 0.55 to 0.9. Don't play with this. And say if I say submit, I got this image, then I can do the image search with Google. And see, if I want to buy anything TV, I can buy TV. If I want to buy anything architecture, I just need to focus on and I can buy anything. Simple. Let us try now, design of room in Christmas style. I have not tried this. I am trending now. Hopefully we'll get the result. So the model will what it will do, it will capture the exact dimension when your value is close to 0.55. When it is moving away from 0.55 to 0.9, then it will say, okay, we have here redesigned Christmas one. So let us try to keep according to the same dimension. For that I will keep my value close to 0.5, and let us see how my output will be. So I hope everyone will go and try and redesign for Christmas and New Year Eve. Yeah, we have. So it's still in POC part. I'm open for more comments, feedbacks, more collaborators who want to make this as an app, make this a full website, full fledged website. I'm open for everything. I can be connected with my email address. I'll share my email address as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That was mind-blowing demo. First of all, congrats to you for putting this together. There is lots of amazement and wows in the chat section. So it's definitely something very new. There's a bunch of questions here, so I'm gonna jump into it. So David is asking, actually, David, maybe you wanna, elaborate on it. On your
Sure.
question that you posted on the chat. Thanks.
I was just asking, just to clarify which part you're using the Cohere model for. It's for the descriptions of the room. Is that right?
Yep, description of the room. Detailed description of the room. If I just ask to redesign the space using 2-3 words, it will redesign. But for more granular, more command, I am using Cohere command language model to create more, more description out of it. Yeah.
Got it. Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, we have another question from Anne. So does it take into account the size of the room? This image video, is it generated based on the size of the room only?
Wait, I'll share my screen again. I said I'll just need to give image as input and make sure that my values, if I want exact same dimensions, I need to keep the value close to 0.55. If I keep away from 0.5 to 0.9, my dimensions will gonna be very random. So ideal number should be 0.5 to 0.55 to 0.7, 0.8. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you. And follow-up question from Anne as well. So just to confirm, after you get the results, someone can go and purchase what's in this given room by going to by using Google Lens and checking out what's available. That's similar.
Yeah. Yes. Something similar. But I'm trying to add more my drop shipping link or my referral link for the Amazon or any Alibaba website. So I'm just a work is there, but for now it works with Google Lens perfectly.
Nice. Arjun had some feedback for you. Arjun, do you want to share it directly?
Yeah, sure. I was just thinking about how to improve this model over time. What's nice about the setup that you have, it seems very straightforward to just get like before photos of a room and after photos of a room, whether you're working with firms directly or whether you scrape them however you want. Incorporating those into your model, retraining and seeing the improvements, I feel like doing something like that would be a great way to improve the performance of the model going into the future. Model's already really cool, but that idea just came to me, like maintaining it.
Yeah, I got you, Arjun. I got you. Since the data set is completely it's a general model. So what I'm planning to do is once I get more revenue and more people and more comments from the users, I'm planning to fine tune the stable diffusion model with purely on architectural photorealistic images. But for POC purpose, this is my work. Like a good suggestion though, because for more improvement and more photorealistic, I am planning to fine tune the model with say more aesthetic and more diverse actual photos. Yeah, good. Yeah, thank you. I
Awesome.
like your work. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Arsalan. Thank you guys for your questions and comments. You can continue with your questions and comments on our Discord channel. Arsalan is available there. And I think it is time to pick the demo of the month. So Luis, if you're with us, please show up. Just to recap, the demo of the month, Cohere's pick of the month, first of all, is sort of a chair on top because we are choosing awesome demos, as you could see yourself today, that there's no winners or losers today. The Cohere's pick of the month will have we'll get a one-on-one mentorship discussion on Discord with one of our Cohere co-founders. Also, we'll get a Discord badge on our Discord badge featured on our Discord, and we will feature the project on the social media to give it a little bit more promotional love. So without further ado, Luis, it's all in your hands now. Very tough choice, by the way.
You know what's the hardest part of my job? Picking amongst amazing demos. These were all amazing. So congratulations to all of you. This is so impressive. Yeah, so I was in the spirit of Christmas allowed to give 2 prizes. So I'll give an honorable mention and a first prize, and they can both receive swag. So yeah, the honorable I mentioned the second prize is, since I was in academia for a while, and I know the difficulty of the research papers space. Definitely, I was very impressed with Sasha and Rahil's project. So that one gets the honorable mention. Congratulations! It's amazing work how you managed to cluster it and really understand the space that even the researchers normally don't fully understand. So congratulations for that one. And the winners is Mohammed, who had just completely blown it out of the park with that project, and has managed to connect so many different things, image and text, and yeah, that's super impressive. So congratulations to both of you. And actually, one thing I like about both is that both are pretty much set for production, right? Like you can take it to company.
Yeah,
And
hopefully, yeah.
start using them right away. So
Woo!
congratulations.
Congrats.
Thank you. So it's a big fan of your work, Louis. I like your work and like your YouTube channel. So it's like fan moment for me. Thank you so much. You hopefully will get mentorship from Cohere founders. I can make it as a full-fledged website. So I'm much excited. Merry Christmas for me from now. Yeah, thank you so much, everyone.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, Luis, thank you so much that the toughest job is done. Now we are going into the more pleasurable part of choosing the most festive community member. And in here, we have looked very closely at your festive attires today and what the jury came up with. Roy, thank you so much for the tune. We decided that both Conrad and Giancarlo will best dressed and put enough effort to get some really cute holiday swag from us. So thank you so much. Can we see Conrad and Giancarlo, please?
Yeah, can you guys see me?
Yes.
Nice.
Hello.
Thanks, guys.
Loving this filter of yours.
Yeah, hello all. Sorry, my filter is not Christmas, but it's like being a cook. Food brings happiness, so I think it's very Christmassy nonetheless.
Food is very Christmassy, I agree. Awesome. Thank you guys. You look super cute. Now we're going to move into a group photo. So first of all, since we are all here and we are relatively dressed in a Christmas fashion, let's make a cute face. I will count to 3, and then you do your best in terms of the photo. If not, I'm sorry. This is your one and only chance. We will not take second photos.
Can we do one smile and one with crazy pose?
Excellent suggestion, Lois. Let's do that. So one crazy and one smile. Let's start with the crazy. That'll be funnier. So crazy face in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, Luis, I think you won this contest. Now, face that's cute, or smile, or however you want to put it. In 3, 2, 1. Awesome. You will see the outcomes of your photo shoot in a while on our Discord and on social media. So stick around. Thank you so much. And we have 3 more minutes to test the trivia generator, which is actually a Cohere demo done by Elaine, who is with us today. Elaine, thank you so much for putting this together. We're gonna generate some trivia questions, and the winner will also get some cute prizes. So let's do it. Basically, the way it works, you put Christmas topic into the generator, and here we go. What percentage of Americans buy a real Christmas tree? You guys, please, okay, 40, 60, 30. Any more responses? Let's see. 38.4. Who was the closest? Woo! I think there's a tie between Arjun and Toby. So I guess both of you get Arslan as well. Okay, so anyone that answered 45, you guys will receive the prize. Please reach out to Roy afterwards to make sure that you get it. We have time for one more question, so let's do it. What is the name of the red? That's a pretty vague question though. But I guess we know who's the red. Well, I guess it's Rudolph, right? But it could be Santa as well. It's very confusing. Elaine, some user feedback here. That was confusing. Let's work on the red. So, okay, how about we generate one more? What country is the home of Santa Claus? Finland, Canada, Greenland, Finland. Well, Finland won. So congratulations. Woohoo! You folks that answered Finland, you shall be rewarded. Robin, that's a political opinion. Let's not voice it out here. So thank you so much, guys. It's been a blast. I hope you have a wonderful, warm, happy Christmas. Lots of food, lots of quality time with your folks, lots of presents as well, not only from Cohere, but from other sources. Hopefully Santa won't fail this time. Lots of wine, yes, I agree. I'm on the wine team, definitely. Hope to see you next year, recharged and full of ideas. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you to our presenters for the wonderful demos, and Louis for the tough job, as well as our mentors and everyone that participated in the discussion. Let's follow up on Discord and have a wonderful Christmas and Happy New Year. Take care.